Good evening. My name is Lisa Starr Francis, and I'm here with the Word Oracle Alchemy System. If the letter A is the first letter in your name, or you have an A in your name, you may want to listen in on this episode of What's in a Name. This is a series of videos that I am making, and it was inspired by a little searching that I did, and I discovered that the most popular letter that began names in North America was the letter J, and then it was followed by the letter M, and then followed by the letter A. And after I discovered that, I decided that this was so interesting that I would do a video on that, and it has turned into the fact that I'm going to do 26 videos, one for each letter that may be found in your name. So I'm going to go through all 26 letters. Today I'm doing the letter A. Now, we're looking at our name, and in particular, we're looking at our birth name, so the name that's given to us at birth. And that name is not a label. According to the Word Oracle Alchemy System, according to this system, which was given by God through me, I had no idea what I was making. I had no idea that there was anything coming along that had anything to do with letters in your name, but here we are. And indeed, the letters in your name act as the architecture for your life, meaning that much like numerology, which goes with the same idea that your name is picked out for you, there's some sort of agreement in the whole name, and that your soul is in agreement with that. So this system has that same premise, that we are in agreement with what our name is. And inside of the name that we get, each letter is a part of our soul architecture. It is a part of the gifts and the attributes that our soul intended to work with and utilize in this life journey. And often in our journey, our gifts, some gifts get fully expressed, and other gifts are not fully used, and that could be for many different reasons that we don't have all our gifts fully in use. But the name code helps us to identify easily what we are in alignment with, meaning what the gift is about, the attribute that we came with is about. And through just the examples that are given about it, it's easy to establish for ourselves whether or not the gift is fully functioning. So, with that being said, let me not get too educational about it and get more experiential. So, we will begin the name code for the letter A. So, these are the 4 A cards in the deck. We have this one. We have this one, we have this one, and we have this one. All 4 of these cards are represented by the letter A, and these are the 4 attributes that would come with having the letter A in your name. I am talking about starting with the letter A in particular, but if you have A's in your name, pay attention, because these are your attributes as well. It doesn't matter where it's placed, but obviously the first letter is like the first thing that we get to when we open up the name code. So we're beginning with the first letter. So As I said, I've already done the J video and the M video. Today we are with the letter A. And it was the third most popular letter for names to begin with in North America. So I want to say to you that if your letter of your name, the A, is in your name, or your name begins with A, these attributes, um, it should be and ought to be. I'm going to suggest that as you listen, you'll find it simple to determine whether the attribute you have come in with is fully open. And if it's not, you'll also know that. So it's kind of handy for us to know where we're at with each one of these attributes. So we'll begin here with this one, and this one is called Sacred Bubbles. So the attribute that comes in with this is that if we are with the A attribute, meaning that the gift is fully functioning, then for some that are like that, there's going to be a natural lightness that rises above whatever surrounds them. So no matter what, those A's that have it going on are going to have a perspective that comes easily, and things do not weigh heavily on them. They're going to get perspective, even when something is, not, there's things to rise above. These people get perspective, it comes easily to them, and things do not weigh heavily. So if the attribute of A that this card represents is fully functioning, that's how it is. Perspective comes easy, and things don't weigh heavily, and there's a natural lightness about the person. Okay? And for other A's, there may be a tendency to feel pulled into everything that's happening around them, and it may be harder for some to stay lifted, feeling lifted above everything. So if you're an A name, you can just pay attention to that, and which one do you gravitate more to? Which one are you more of? Because that'll help you know, is this attribute fully operational, fully functional? Okay, and sometimes we are looking for our purpose, but it's not that we haven't found our purpose. It's that some of the attributes that we might be using to live out our purpose fully are we've closed them off for different reasons. Like, let's just say you had an attribute for being super, generous and whatnot, and someone did something when you were doing an act of generosity, and it made it more difficult for you to be naturally generous. We could say that gift got snipped off there. It wasn't fully functioning after that. So this is what we're talking about when we're saying things can get cut off and not be fully functioning. Okay, so we are looking at the letter A and the attributes, and as someone with an A in our name, we're going to pay attention to it. I don't have an A beginning, but my name is Lisa, and it ends with an A. So I pay attention to the A as well to see, am I able to get perspective easily and not let things weigh heavily? These are good for us to hear so that we can really check ourselves, because of course we are going to be able to check ourselves better than anyone else when it comes to these type of things. Okay, so the second attribute that A comes with is represented by this card, which is Stormy Sea. And with this one, it says that for some, there's an ease in moving with changing conditions. So sometimes we are, as an A, if it's open, if it's functioning, if the gift has been, if we are using this attribute as our soul intended, then there's an ease in moving with changing conditions. Like it's easy to move with whatever's going on. And these type of A's that have it going on meet with intensity and continue forward without resistance. Like they are really just gonna move forward, and they're going to be at ease with changing conditions, because they'll be the kind of people that say to you, change is the only thing that you can sort of count on. Okay, so that's an A that's got this one, this attribute um, fully open. For others with the A, this could look like shifting situations may feel overwhelming or unsteady. Okay, so when things shift, it could cause overwhelm and could leave a feeling of being unsteady. And in that case, when it's not fully open, it can feel difficult to stay balanced within the movement of life. So again, we are looking at these attributes in this way to see, as an A, am I do I have this thing? It's an attribute. It's meant to be used by me. Do I have it open? Am I using it? Do I have it shut? This is what we can find out. And this is why I'm doing the video, so you can sort of get an idea. All right. So here we are with the third attribute for the letter A in the What's in a Name series. And this card calls itself Magic Mountain. And what this attribute is it shows up for some that their actions are guided by a steady inner knowing, that there is a trust in what feels true and aligned. These people, these A people, when they have the Magic Mountain energy, the attribute that comes with this activated and open, these people, their actions are guided by a steady inner knowing. They're like, they feel led, and they trust what feels true and aligned to them. So that is what's happening when this one is fully open and the attribute is being used by the person with the A attribute, with the A in their name. And if you have many A's, then you have this, then this is even stronger. Let's just say that. All right. And for others who have this, if it's not fully open, it can show up looking like decisions may come more from thought than from inner connection. So like they make decisions from their head and not from inner connection. And it can show up as feeling unclear of what direction to take. So that is, you check and you go, which one am I more aligned with? Do I have it functioning? These are giving us clues. Okay, letter A. This is the last one for letter A. The last of the four attributes. And this one is called Golden Goose. And this attribute shows up for some, those who have it fully open. It shows up like there is a clear sense of value that does not need validation. These people have a clear sense of value. It doesn't really require validation. Worth is known and carried naturally with these people. When you're A, when that's fully open, when the gift, the attribute that you aligned with to come in with your A name, that attribute, this is one of the A attributes about that clear sense of value that does not need validation. So if you are fully functioning, this is fully open, then your worth is known to you and carried naturally. For others, this is going to show up where your value may be questioned or measured against outside standards, and that can feel uncertain, um, and you know, they might even think that's what they really deserve, that sort of thing. So, because their worth isn't, they're questioning their worth, where the other person on the other side has a clear sense of worth. So, these videos are aimed at letting us look. So if you're an A, so you've got the A in your name, you've got several A's in your name, those things will compound to make this attribute, meant to be um, really fully open, because that's what your soul intended to do. So I do a thing called name your name code, so that you can actually have a way to get all of the attributes of your name fully functioning for you. It came through the deck, it came through the divine, and it is a written activity. You would be writing it for a number of days. Some people are writing it for 3 months, because of course this is dealing with your name, and this is dealing with activating the attributes that came in with your name. And it would require repetition in order to move through a process that would allow us to have all the attributes fully functioning for us. And so I hope that this video, and I hope for you people like myself who have an A in your name. I have actually, in my birth name, I have 2 A's, and in my married name, I now have 3 A's. So this is the way it sometimes works out. And when there's multiples, there's just multiple energy with that letter. And you often see, my daughter has an A name that begins with an A and ends with an A. So if you have these letters, pay attention to when I'm going to do the letter that's in your name. If anybody is here live, I could look at the first letter of your name, but I don't see anyone has joined me tonight. So I'm going to end it there. I hope that you find this interesting and a little bit helpful to understand that each letter in our name actually speaks to the attributes that our soul intended to utilize in this journey, in this earthly experience. And that the name code can help us when we notice that we have some that are not open and we want to have them fully functioning for us. The name code can allow us to get the ones that are laying dormant, not being fully used. The name code will help us bring it back online so that they all begin to work for us as we intended them to do. So this is about our soul intention and getting back in alignment with it. So I'll be back with the next video, and I don't know what letter it's going to be because I can't find my piece of paper that tells me what letter comes next. So I can't even really tell you what letter it'll be. It seems to me that I lost the paper that I need to read from. Oh, there it is. I found the paper just in time to say that the next letter I will be doing is the letter C. So if your name begins with C, join me next time for that What's in a Name series, letter C. Bye bye.